Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and I was asked a question from the Instagram account Furfel308. If you want to follow me on Instagram, the link is going to be there below. I was asked, what's a better firearm? A 308 bolt action rifle like the one I showed in the previous video, or a lever action 357 Magnum? Well, I actually have both, and here's my reply. It really depends on what you're looking. They're pretty different type of firearms. Your bolt action 308, as handy as this one is, and that's the topic of the previous video regarding the scout utility type bolt action rifle, short iron sights, and that kind of deal, that's still a bolt action 308. You're talking about a powerful round, it's a powerful cartridge that you're firing, around that you're capable of getting good power and good accuracy further down range, and that's being compared to a 357 Magnum, which is firing a pistol caliber rounds from a handy little lever action gun. So the difference in cartridge alone, you have like 5 times more power in a 308 compared to a 357. That alone is going to be telling you a bit of what you're going to be getting here. Do you need a round that is powerful enough, that has enough punch, 300 yards, 400, 600 yards down range, or are you looking more for something that it's more of a more moderate amount of power, medium to short range? Then you have the capacity difference. You have 4+1 rounds for your bolt action 308. Typically that would be the case. You can have some that have a detachable magazine with 5, 6, 7, 10 rounds. In my opinion, that's kind of, if that's what you're looking for, then maybe go with a semi-automatic. Makes more sense if you want to have that type of gun, but either way you have that option. Now in the lever action gun, this little Winchester Trapper, this has a 9+1 capacity, so you're getting more of these little rounds in your gun, and not only that, you're actually able to fire that gun quite a bit faster. So what is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for what's the question of which one is best? Are you looking for like a survival gun? Well, what is your idea of a survival gun? Are you someone that is more often than not using that gun for hunting, and maybe defense is somewhat of a more limited use? What's the kind of terrain that you're in? As we talked in the previous video, if you're in one of these very isolated place, very flat land, and miles all around you, and you may find yourself maybe one day not only just hunting, but someone being problematic at longer distances in which a handgun or even a pistol caliber carbine will not be enough compared to a 308 with a scope on it. Well, maybe then that's what you're looking for. Now realistically, if you're looking at a gun that, if the question is between these two, like a survival gun, at least for me, survival gun means self-defense. That's kind of implicit in terms of realistic deals in which a firearm may make the difference between me being alive or not. I just don't see that much as, oh, if I'm not killing that deer, I'm dying today. Could it be that way if you're hunting for food and that's the only way you put food on the table? Of course. Realistically though, when people are in these life or death situations, what we see most of the time is people going after one another. So if your question about a survival gun revolves around self-defense, I think that the Winchester is a much better option for self-defense. You will have less power in the round, but it's going to be more than adequate enough for self-defense, especially out of that 16-inch barrel. It's going to be giving it a few more feet per second, so it's going to be getting more power than in a revolver. You have faster shot play, you have faster shooting with a lever action, and you have more capacity, and it doesn't have the same amount of recoil, and it's also not going to be as likely to over penetrate as this guy over here. So if the question is that, if I had to go for one or the other as a survival gun, unless I'm in a very specific, isolated, flat land, huge rain deal terrain, I'm going with a 357 as a more handy gun. Not only that, the lever action 357 is a quite interesting gun. You can get pretty accurate with it. If you have one drill and tap for scopes, you can get a good round even to 100, 150, maybe even 200 yard down range. You can even download these to, you can shoot, of course, 38 special, and you can reload some very light loads for maybe squirrels or some more small game or some target practice, pest control with, you know, cheaper, light 38 loads. That's the kind of thing you will not be able to do with your 308, at least not nearly as easy. Now, if the option is these two, that's the answer. But if you're really looking at a gun for self-defense, rather than going with a lever action, I would go with a semi-automatic, probably like an AR type platform, like the one you see above there. That I feel gives you the best in terms of, you know, a self-defense gun. Now you have different platforms. I particularly like the AK. I think that you have some interesting deals there with the AR, in spite of, you know, not being in terms of design the thing I favor the most. I accept that it's like ubiquitous as it gets. So you find magazines, parts everywhere, and with a minimum amount of knowledge and care of your own part, the gun should work for you. So that is likely to be your answer for a survival type rifle, realistically speaking. Okay, could you use it for hunting as well? Of course. Could you use it for pest control? That's going to be some expensive pest control, but sure, you can kill something by shooting at it with your AR. And you have different you know, options in terms of calibers. You can even go with an AR in 22 long rifle, but it will be kind of a different gun, of course. So guys, that's basically it. Just a few thoughts there. The thing is, you know, take something out of this is have a long gun. You have your handgun, which is the main gun you should be practicing and being the most proficient with, because it's the most likely to be with you when you need it. And you have some of these options. It's not a right or wrong answer, because it's going to be depending on what you want. Someone that is mostly focused on hunting, he's going to be getting the bolt action gun all day long. That's simply the more reasonable choice for him, especially in these type of calibers. Right, guys, that's all for now. I'm going to be leaving links for my books available in Amazon over there, and see you tomorrow when we do a live stream with Matt Bracken. Have an awesome day. Take care.